I had my nose done, my eyes tilted. I had...
How many what?
Plastic surgeries.
I've never had plastic surgery in my life.
Is that right?
When you hit 40 in Hollywood, it's a little bit iffy. You get through a certain period where you're not getting the roles you were used to.
हाँ, Melanie Griffith, थोड़ा सा iffy तो है, मगर not as iffy as some of the plastic surgery that the people in today's video have undergone. Hello दोस्तों, क्या हाल चाल है? Yes, it's back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Okay, I really need to stop singing on the internet. It's a problem and I just need to stop. मैं आपकी host हूँ Ayman Hassan. Thanks for tuning in again. Now, I for one am totally okay for people doing whatever they want to their bodies. I mean, आपका जिस्म है तो जो कुछ करना है खुशी से करो.
Oh my god, the mustache.
But sometimes it just doesn't end well. You go in there looking like Beyonce and you come out looking like the Joker. I mean, it's a thing. मगर शुरू होने से पहले अगर आपको हमारा चैनल पसंद आ रहा है तो please subscribe करें. We post a bunch of new videos weekly and I'd love to see you guys join me for every single one of them. But without further ado, this is the top 10 celebrity plastic surgeries gone wrong. Starting off this list at number 10, we have Anushka Sharma. यार ये बात मुझे बहुत उदास करती है और अभी तक मैं उसको vividly picture कर सकती हूँ. Anushka made her Bollywood debut in the romantic comedy रब ने बना दी जोड़ी, sporting her natural good looks. अपने debut से पहले अनुष्का को कहा जाता था कि उसकी Bollywood heroine look नहीं थी और वो बहुत ordinary लगती थी. ये भी कोई कहने की बात होती है? I mean, Bollywood बड़ा हुआ है ordinary looking लोगों से. But that's none of my business though. After having such a hit debut, you'd think those comments wouldn't have mattered to her anymore, but maybe they did. मुझे अभी तक वो Coffee with Karan episode नहीं बोला. People were shocked. Like, do we even know her? Who is that? मैं हैरान थी कि अनुष्का ने अपना Twitter और Instagram account temporarily बंद नहीं कर दिया था. People were harsh. It looked like she had gotten some sort of lip procedure done along with her nose, but it turns out it was a temporary lip enhancing tool that affected the way her nose looked. लेकिन हमारी अनुष्का आजकल तो बड़ी hot and happening लग रही है. Thankfully, it was temporary and now she's back to looking better than ever. Now पे है Joan Rivers. Joan was an American comedian, actress, television personality, but I think what she was most well known for was offending people with her jokes.
I hate ugly children. I hate fat people. I hated China. I hate whiners.
एक तो लोग भी इतनी जल्दी offend हो जाते हैं. I mean, उसकी गलती क्या थी? In her youth, Joan honestly wasn't bad looking, but I feel like the older people get, the more obsessed they become. सबको बस 21 साल का लगना है. और ये trend तो अभी तक चल रही है. Sometimes I'm at the gym and I'm like, आप 20 साल के हो या 40 साल के हो? I mean, come on, the woman is in her 70s in these pictures, so no matter what botox you inject in your face, and no matter how smooth your skin looks, at 78 you are not gonna look 21 no matter how hard you try and no matter what you do. आज पे है हमारी मासूम, nearly made it but never really made it actress Aisha Takia. If you've been watching Bollywood movies for ages, then you may remember who she is. She was in Shaadi No. 1, Salame-Ishq, Wanted, and a bunch of other flop films, so if you don't remember her, I really don't blame you. जब आयशा ने अपना डेब्यू किया वो सबको बहुत प्यारी लगती थी. She seemed like India's girl next door. लेकिन बहुत जल्दी उसका career standstill पे आ गया. And now let me tell you how she, like so many other actresses, went into the pit of non-existence. 1. Realize your career is in trouble. 2. Decide that plastic surgery is the only way to put you above the rest of the competition. 3. Have a botched procedure and end up looking worse than before. And 4. नाम बदल के घर मत छोड़ो and wait for tabloids to forget you exist. और ये exact 4-part foolproof plan Aisha Takia ने follow किया. Here are her before and afters. I'm not saying she shouldn't have done it, I'm just saying maybe if she hadn't done it, her career would have taken off. Okay, so I did say it.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
साथ में we have Donatella Versace. Now I think हमारे सारे viewers मेरी उम्र के हैं, plus or minus 2-3 साल, which means that most of us have probably never seen any pictures of Donatella Versace before her plastic surgery. I mean, she was at the peak of her fame before I was even born, so we really only ever saw her after pictures. Donatella के natural features बहुत interesting थे, लेकिन अब कहानी काफी different है. She's been coined with the term trout pout, and here's why. लोग कहते हैं कि अब वो walking talking Madame Tussauds की wax figure लगती है with the amount of botox, lasers and fillers she's used on her face. उनकी skin बिल्कुल कागज की तरह लगती है because of how thin it's become. Plastic surgery के अलावा Donatella Versace का fashion house सबसे मशहूर है. Call her trout pout or whatever you want, her net worth is still like $200 or $300 million. That's a lot of dollar bills. Maza hi maza. 6 pe we have Jackie Stallone. Yes, you heard that right, Stallone. Now, who's that other, like, not so well-known figure called Stallone?
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Yes, gotta love some Rocky Balboa. Jackie Stallone, if you couldn't already guess from the clip I just showed you, is Sylvester Stallone's mum. And sadly, she too is a victim of plastic surgery gone wrong. लेकिन अच्छी बात जैकी की ये है कि वो सब कुछ admit करती है. वो admit करती है कि उसने बहुत ज़्यादा procedures करे हुए हैं, mostly Juvederm injections that are meant to stimulate collagen and plump up areas. Jackie ने एक इंटरव्यू में कहा था कि I look like I brought a mouthful of nuts. I feel as though I look like a chipmunk. Ooh, Jackie, आप गलत नहीं थी, आप गलत नहीं थी. लेकिन don't worry, इस journey में हम आपके साथ हैं. 5 पे we have Koina Mitra, and honestly I had no idea who she was when she came up on Google, but then I was like, maybe I just don't recognize her because she's done something, so let's see her before pictures. And then it all came rushing back. Koina एक और actress है जिनका career शुरू होते होते खत्म हो गया था. क्यों? Yes, you guessed it, plastic surgery. कोयना ने काफी बड़े प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस की मूवीज की थे, like Hey Baby, मुजफ्फर और एक खिलाड़ी एक हसीना. लेकिन मुझे ये समझ नहीं आई उसके डेब्यू से पहले वो मॉडल थी और काफी सक्सेसफुल मॉडल. So why did she go down this route? I'm gonna place my bets on the foolproof 4-part plan I laid out with Aisha Takia. कोयना ने rhinoplasty से start किया और procedure हुआ flop. She was still a pretty girl, but there was something just definitely off about her face. तो कोयना ने कहा, let's try rhinoplasty take 2. और ये procedure उससे भी और flop. 4 पे we have Kim Novak. Best known for her role in Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, Novak ने काफी हिट फिल्में की थी 1950s में, लेकिन फिर भी उसका career stable नहीं था. She was sporadically in and out of movies for a very long time. She made a rare appearance at the 2014 Academy Awards and people genuinely had no idea who she was. Donald Trump even tweeted, I'm having a real hard time watching. Kim should sue her plastic surgeon. That's so rude. लेकिन Donald Trump की आजकल कौन सुनता है anyway? She admitted to having had a lot of injections because she thought that would be less invasive than a facelift, but galat. Honestly, the amount of times I've said that now, that should be a meme. मैं एक चीज जरूर confirm कर सकती हूँ कि जब Kim G smile करती है, उसको बहुत दर्द होती है. Like her skin can't even stretch to form an ear-to-ear smile. It looks really painful. 3 pro we have Mickey Rourke, and again you're probably like, who? But that proves my exact point. When someone undergoes a botched surgery, they just disappear out of the limelight, and the only people we do remember are the celebrities who had good surgeons, because they're probably still in the limelight. Kylie Jenner, Priyanka Chopra. Someone hear something? It was probably the haters. 90s में मिकी ने एक्टिंग छोड़ दी और वो बॉक्सिंग परस्यू करने लगा. मैं पूरी तरह बिलीव करती हूँ कि पैशन फॉलो करना जरूरी है, लेकिन इतना खूबसूरत फेस और बॉक्सिंग. Because of his boxing injuries, मिकी ने काफी facial surgeries कराई, and I quote, he said, I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. मिकी साहब honestly कोई सीखे तो आपसे. He had 5 procedures on his nose alone and has finally, according to his Instagram, become pretty again, and is now being featured in a lot of Hollywood releases once again. 2 पे we have Tara Reid, जो आप शायद जानते हैं American Pie से. Tara का career बहुत promising लग रहा था 90s में और वो टेक ऑफ करते करते लैंड हो गया था. क्यों? क्योंकि ये मैडम भी प्लास्टिक सर्जरी के ख्वाब देखना शुरू हो गई. This seems to be a recurring theme with everyone on this list, which is sad because talent is still talent regardless of how botched your surgeries go, but what do I know? Through a nip slip scandal at P. Diddy's party in 2004, Reid shocked everyone with not only having her boob on full display, but also what seemed to be a misshapen nipple, presumably from a breast augmentation. Tara ने admit किया था कि उसने procedure कराया था to level out her boobs, but then later underwent liposuction and caused her to have a really ripply and bulgy stomach. I know those aren't real words, but you get what I mean. और आपको तो पता है कि ये industry किसी को spare नहीं करती. She developed a hernia on her stomach, which caused her to lose a lot of work. अगर आप Hollywood में bikini नहीं पहनते थे, तो आप Hollywood में क्या कर रहे हैं? And that was the end of Tara Reid. और हमारा number 1 spot में है Pete Burns. From his name, he probably just sounds like a randomer, but this may jog your memory. That's what I thought. Pete Dead or Alive का main vocalist था और काफी popular भी था. He was infamous for his androgynous appearance. Pete शुरुआत में hair colors के साथ experiment करता था, but that escalated from 0 to 100 real quick. Next, Pete भी cosmetic surgery का victim बन गया था. What started as a back alley nose job and lip fillers ended as something else entirely.
The first incision of the surgeon's knife, a botched nose job.
Yeah, that's where the eye patch came about, because it collapsed on one side. It was done by a backstreet butcher.
अगर आप मेरे सामने पीट बर्न सर्जरी से पहले और पीट बर्न सर्जरी के बाद ले आते तो मैं कसम खाती हूँ कि मुझे कहीं से नहीं लगेगा कि ये पीट बर्न्स है. I would actually think they were two completely different people. In 2000, Burns went through a near-death experience with a lip implant. He first developed rashes around his lips, and then his doctor put steroids in, which then caused his lips to become lumpy. He then put implants between the lumps to even it out, and eventually his lips were protruding a good few inches away from his face. I mean, duck face is one thing, but that's just on another level. Amputation seemed to be the only solution until an Italian surgeon came around. पूरे 2 साल Pete treatment कर रहा था to drain the liquid from his lips that his body had been producing to fight the implant. बेचारा Pete की किडनी में 11 stones थे, उसका liver बहुत बुरी हालत में था और उसकी एक आंख में वो नजर खो बैठा. And yet he still continues to do it. Some people will just never learn.
All I know is that to me, you look like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms, watch out, here I come. You spin me right round, baby, right round.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of today's video. I feel like everyone goes through a phase where they hate certain things about themselves that they really want to change. मैं बता भी नहीं सकती the amount of times मैंने nose job idea को entertain करा, and I probably still do. Comments में मुझे बताओ अगर आपको कोई procedure चाहिए और क्यों चाहिए. And hopefully, if you do end up doing it, it doesn't turn out like any of the people I mentioned today. Remember to like and subscribe, दोस्तों. मैं आपकी host हूँ Ayman Hassan, and I'll see you next time. खुदा हाफिज़.